pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening. Go ahead and call the roll, please.
Trustee Spurling. Here. Trustee Lee.
Here.
Trustee Hines. Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Here.
Trustee Bond.
Here.
And we're all here this evening. Moving on to public participation. We have public comment period, which is any member of the public or in attendance today has the opportunity to address the board, and I know that we have at least one, so come on up.
Of us. Thank you for this time. My name is Ann Engelhardt. I am the Executive Director of Kendall County PADS. That's the homeless shelter program that we run in Kendall County. We actually touch on a portion of Montgomery, and one of the churches in Montgomery, St. Luke's Church, which isn't too far from here, is one of our 7 church shelter sites. I just wanted to take a couple of quick minutes just to tell you a little bit about the program, just so that you are aware of it in case someone ever asks you something about the shelter program. We are just about ready to start into our 5th year. We started in fall of 2010, and we run 26 weeks a year, mid-October to mid-April. We'll be starting October 19th this year, and in the first 4 winters, we served 241 different individuals, men, women, and children. They come to our shelters at night, at 7 o'clock at night, and they leave at 7 in the morning. They have a mattress, blankets, pillows, all those things. 2 of our churches have showers. They also use the showers in Oswego at the YMCA. And they get a hot home-cooked meal in the evening from our food team. They get breakfast in the morning, usually hot home-cooked breakfast, and they leave with a sack lunch. We realize that we're just sort of a temporary stop in their journey of life because we try very hard to provide them to find a way to get other services, particularly the Kendall County Health Department, where they can get counseling services and other kinds of help. We also realize that they most often need to be employed. Some are part-time employed, some are not employed at all. So we make that part of our mission as well, to give them some assistance in finding jobs. We can't find the jobs for them, but we try to give them the kind of websites and other help for that. This is a big program. We have nearly 600 volunteers. It's totally 100% volunteer program because we're a nonprofit. And to run this program, we need approximately 87 people in a month to keep it going. And we have, I'm proud to say, about 80% of the people, the volunteers, return each year, but that still leaves us about 20% to fill in for the following year. And that's, right now, we're looking for about 100 volunteers in all different time slots. We ask our volunteers to serve only 1 time a month for 4.5 hours. Shift 1, 2, or 3, it's divided over the night. And food team, again, is about 2 or 2.5 hours. So you can see it's a very big program. We just want you to be aware of it. And one of the pieces of paper that I had handed out to you is actually this trifold brochure that tells a little bit about what the volunteers do, are they safe, answers questions, and so on. Gives our mission statement. I know how busy all of you are, but if you happen to know someone who has a passion for helping other people, please pass this on to them because we would certainly be so grateful for their help. They can register online. Our website is listed on every public piece of paper handout that we have. The other one that I'm just going to make a quick reference to gives you some statistics on the inside about why do we need a PADS program. And we keep up with the information that we have access to throughout the county from the food pantry, from the Regional Office of Education, the police departments, and so on. So we know the program is needed. we only see the tip of the iceberg when we have our guests come to our shelters. And the third piece of paper is the statistical data, and it lists the different shelter sites as well. And we basically let people choose their own night, their own shift, their own location as to when they want to volunteer, and we're extremely grateful for all of our volunteers because the program couldn't run without them. In fact, that's why my friend Betsy is here. She is a resident of Montgomery and has been a faithful volunteer at St. Luke's Church, and she just would like to make a statement too about the program and how it has affected her life.
As you guys know, I'm Betsy Way. I live in Montgomery, and I enjoy helping the PADS program because when I see people who are in a time of need, you know, you get to know the people, you get to connect with them, share stories, share the faith of God that it can do to them in their lives. And it really has helped me see other people in their shoes. And that's why I enjoy helping, and that's why I help Ann now coordinate, you know, getting more the word out and all that. So that's why I enjoy doing the Montgomery Fest and Prairie Fest to get the word out, and I really enjoy it. So I hope you guys, we all can get more volunteers and get the word out.
Thank you so much for your time and letting us share a little bit about the PADS program.
Excellent. Betsy Ann, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, we'll move on to the consent agenda this evening. I'll read them off and entertain a motion. Minutes of the village board meeting of August 25th, building report for August of 2014, accounts payable through September 3rd of 2014, request from Family Outreach Program to conduct tag days on September 19th and 20th, and then the cancellation of the September 16th Committee of the Whole meeting.
Motion to approve?
Have a second?
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Marisak?
Yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes.
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Hines? Trustee Youngerman?
Yay.
And that carries 6-0. Thank you. Items for separate action this evening, we have the award of contract for a 2014 Village Sidewalk Replacement Program to Strata Construction of Addison, Illinois. And with that, I'll ask Director Pubens for a summary on this.
Thank you, President Brawley. In your board pack tonight is a award of contract for our 2014 sidewalk replacement program. This contract covers sidewalk replacement at intermittent locations throughout the village. We generally look for tripping hazards and those types of problems. Excuse me. We got 3 bids for this year's contract. Strata Construction is the lowest. They actually did our program last year. So it's fairly straightforward contract. They'll come in, work with our street supervisor, Gary Byer, to identify, Gary's already identified locations, but he will oversee the work, and it's pretty much come in, tear out a few squares, again, at intermittent locations, replace it, and do the restoration. Be happy to answer any other questions.
Are there any questions on this item? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved. Second?
Call the roll, please.
Who seconded?
Steve and Doug.
Okay,
First and second.
I made the motion.
yes. Okay,
Yay.
okay. Doug?
Yes.
Trustee Bond?
Yes.
Trustee Spurling?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Trustee Hines?
Yay.
That carries 6-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
And now, items for discussion. We have liquor license application for Island Cafe at 1550 Douglas Road. And with that, I'll ask Chief Police Dan Myers for a summary on this.
Good evening, thank you. Tonight, I'd like to introduce Renee Fanjon and Kevin Seipolt. They are currently here to explain their business plan for 1550 South Douglas. They are requesting a liquor license, a Class D, which is the full license that you will sell beer, wine, and indoor liquor. So tonight I'd like to introduce Renee and Kevin.
Wait, it's
Dan?
Class D?
What building is that in?
Not what's, Class F is listed here, so we
D.
want Class D, right?
Pardon me?
Class F is what's listed. in our
Originally,
board.
they'd asked for beer and wine, but they've since amended
No,
that,
I
and they'd
just
like to
want to know
request a
which
full
building in
license.
Douglas.
Okay, thank you.
By Radio Shack?
Yeah, correct. It's between the old Blockbuster and Radio Shack.
Okay, thank you.
I think it's dry cleaning, yeah, dry cleaning spot now.
Dentist.
Yeah,
Dentist. Insurance.
yeah. I'll start the conversation. We're not used to getting in front of cities like this, so we're both a little nervous and feel unprepared. Renee's was born in Chicago but raised in Mexico, and she's had this concept of doing a tropical themed, Gulf of Mexico themed bistro, if you will. And we've been looking at, I think we have approximately 7 leases right now that we've signed throughout northern Illinois. And she's looking to roll out this concept in a few towns and cities, and to make it a fun place to come and eat and have your drinks, and have the gaming machines in there as well. And this is our concept, or her concept. And I'm kind of doing the heavy lifting for her.
It's a little bit more of a tropical theme to the usual bistros that you see out there already. And I want it to be a little bit more inviting and more, a little bit catering more towards women. That's another reason we expanded the liquor license. We want to be able to offer tropical drinks, that sort of thing.
The margaritas and pina coladas. We have had renderings done of a concept. Now, that concept's a little bit bigger than what we're looking at on Douglas Road, but it just kind of gives you a flavor of what the whole atmosphere is gonna be like. Each location will employ approximately 6 people, bringing both, food tax and alcohol tax, and as well as gaming revenue to the city.
You're not selling no liquor to go out of there, are you?
No, all for consumption.
Okay.
What are your hours going to be?
The hours will follow whatever the liquor license allows. So if the liquor license starts at 6 in the morning, we would have a menu. There is a menu there. Renee recently engaged a professional chef to help us expand the menu, but we would offer a breakfast and go a lunch and then a dinner as well.
When you say you have 7 leases signed, do you have one signed for here already?
We do not have one signed for here yet.
Okay.
We're
What are your,
wrestling a little bit with that location.
what are your plans on the other 7? If you have leases, are you going to open them right away, or are you?
Probably open them all right away. It's a 3 to 6 month, but some need more construction, some need less construction. So, over the next 6 to 12 months.
They'll be staggered for sure.
If this is approved, when do you see this location opening in Montgomery?
Part of that will depend upon the process of obtaining the liquor license, but once we get the liquor license, then the build-out would start, and then approval for a gaming license and all that would take place. So I would say 3 months
Okay.
from the time of approval and everything.
Okay, thank you.
2 questions, if I could.
Yeah.
I'm the village attorney, so I'm not asking substantive questions. I just want to understand what you're asking for. It sounds like you're asking for a full in-service liquor license, not the restaurant license that would require a 50% match on food?
We believe our model has it where it's going to be a 50/50 rep food and alcohol. It's not going to be a bar per se. It's going to be much more of a restaurant.
I get that that's your model. I'm asking what license you're looking for, because we have a license that allows for restaurant, which requires you to meet a 50% food revenue ratio. Are you looking for that, or are you looking for the one that is not restricted in that way?
Yes, when I sent them the classifications, the Class D is the one that they request. which is,
I don't care the letters, Dan. Do they want the 50%?
no, that's Class G. So I'm sorry, so it's just consumption on the premises, alcohol.
Okay, the reason that I asked that question is for the board's understanding. That means that as nice as what they present relates to food and restaurant, the reality is they could tell you this, and then the next day, and I have no doubt that you will honor whatever you say, but the license would allow them to shut down the food production, and it would be a literal bar with gaming. So as long as you understand that the license they're asking for does not require food sales at all, they can choose to have them, but if they decided, we're not, the food isn't working for us and we just want to go 100% liquor, they could do that. The only way to avoid that is if they asked for a Class G license, which would have that 50% rule. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not telling you which way to go, I'm just telling you that's the rules of the game at present.
And the one that you guys originally, that's in the packet here is the F. Does that have the 50/50 or no?
No, only-
I know you're not requesting that, but,
That's just beer and wine, no food required.
I just let Kevin read Class G, and they're willing to go with Class G, which is 50/50.
That changes the game entirely.
Yeah, because I don't think we've ever okayed too much lately, except if it is G. And that's why I question when you said you're going to wait 3 months until you get the liquor license and the gaming. It made it sound like it's not really a restaurant, you're more after the liquor license and gaming rather than the restaurant.
We have secured a chef to help us with the food, so that is definitely. I'm sorry. We have hired a chef to help us put the food program together because I am not a chef. So our intention is to serve food and to continue with the food. So I'm not sure about how the licenses work, but.
In other municipalities, we are also doing a 50/50 food and alcohol split. Again, our goal is to sell the food as much as the alcohol, or if not more.
Would the food have a Caribbean flavor to it as well? or-
Correct.
Oh, very good.
So just so everyone again understands, based on their change here at the dais, where they said they are interested in the Class G, which is the 50/50, that alleviates the concern. That means they would have to continue to have food.
and I don't mean to speak for the board, but this, I think this board or a previous board already approved a liquor license, a Class G for that location or somewhere over there a couple of years back that we then, they never opened, so we took that one away. So I was a little weary of just the other class, but the Class G is one that I have supported and would encourage in this area. I think it's needed. Are there any other thoughts on this? Typically, our 3 options, you want to run through those real quick at this
Yes.
point?
Tonight, we have, we're looking for direction. First, if the board is inclined to consider, then we'll move forward with background. The second option is that the village board is not inclined to consider this matter. And the third option would be yes, proceed, but want more information, and we would come back to another meeting to see what we work out with them.
Okay. Any thoughts one way or the other?
Last question. Who's going to run, if you got 7 of them, who's running them? I mean, she can't be at all 7, in other words.
We'll be hiring, we plan on hiring another person to help me run the different bistros.
Okay.
Trustee Spurling, how do you feel?
I'm comfortable with it, with the
Denny?
Class G.
The G?
Yeah, I'm okay with the G too. Up to that point, I wasn't, but as long as you're going to make it that way, it's just typical restaurant, basically.
Yep. Pete?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Doug?
Yes.
Dan?
Same, I
Okay.
welcome it.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right. It's a little early to be doing this. Are there any new or unfinished business to come before the board this evening?
I have a quick thing. It's come to my attention that the streetlight is out at the intersection of William and Griffin. If we could take a look at that, apparently it's been out for quite some time.
We're actually scheduling our crew to go out hopefully this week, but if not, early next week, to do a village-wide upgrade. So William and Griffin.
William and Griffin, I believe it's as you enter the Lakewood Creek, as you turn right off of Griffin, instead of turning left into Orchard Prairie North.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there isn't anything else,
I just wanted to clarify that since the Lorax came through my neighborhood last week.
The what?
The Lorax. We lost quite a few trees, and I'm getting a lot of questions from residents about planting their own trees. And my response is no.
Correct.
I want to make sure I'm correct in that. And I've contacted them and told them to go to the village website and do the tree replacement
We
program.
have a tree replacement program. Residents can donate $150, which is approximately half of the total cost of purchasing and planting a 2 to 2.5 inch diameter tree. We'll work with residents to provide a tree of the type that they would like to see. It is dependent on what else is planted on the street. We're trying to introduce more diversity in some of the neighborhoods. But if we can, if they want a certain type of tree, we'll try to, that's on our approved list.
They have a kind of a choice in the selection process. Okay. Now, the stumps that are there,
Those will be ground out
eventually, but not,
this fall.
oh, really? Okay.
That's the goal, is to get them all this fall.
It's separate from planting a tree. I know that, I think last time when we went out for tree bids, part of the proposal was removal of the stump prior to placement of a new tree.
I think we have done that. We've also, the last few times, we've done a separate stump grinding
Okay.
contract. It seems to work better just to send somebody in there just to remove stumps.
So whatever we cut down this year is going to be stump ground this fall?
That's the goal, yes.
Okay. All right, thank you. Only reason I had the same question the other day.
There's a lot of them, over 600, so,
Okay.
So far, or,
and counting. Yeah, and mainly ash trees.
I've had favorable response to the tree program.
Good.
I had some favorable response with that.
Just trying to get the word out. I'm not sure a lot of people know about it yet, so we'll keep spreading the word, and hopefully more people will participate.
excellent. Plan Commission meeting is this Thursday at 7 PM. And you can see historic, we canceled the committee of the whole. And note, we have intergovernmental before the next village board meeting on September 22nd. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss the employment of an employee pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C1 and to discuss collective negotiating matters pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C2.
Before I make that motion, Matt, I want to say I didn't wear my green and gold shirt tonight because we stumbled a little, but I did wear a Buffalo Bills blue just to kind of, and the 28th when we play, I will wear a Packer with an emblem. Just want to let you know that, but I make the motion to go into executive session.
He knows how to make friends, doesn't he? A second? Is there a second out there?
Second.
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 Call the roll, please.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
Trustee Hines. Trustee Youngerman.
Yay.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Was that your important business for tonight? That was it.
Call the meeting back to order, and I believe Director Poopins has something.
I do have one item. The beautification committee meeting scheduled for Wednesday, September 17th will be canceled. We'll hold our next regular meeting in October.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you. If there are no other comments, I entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Trustee Hines. Trustee Youngerman.
Yes.
Trustee Marisak.
Yes.
Trustee Bond.
Yes.
Trustee Spurling.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Good going, Matt.
And we're adjourned. Thank you.
Good one.